project is called Twinkle Lightly. I choreographed a dance to the song Twinkle Lightly by Talon Rain. My overall goal for this project was really to choreograph a dance because it's something that I've really never done before. I've done half of a dance, but I've only done that once, and I've only started dancing a year ago. So it's something that I'm not as experienced in, so I thought that choreographing a dance would be something cool that I could learn about, and that would also better me in my dancing. My area of interaction for this project is health and social education, and I chose it because one of the little subcategories in the questions that they ask is, how do I think and act? And for me, this project was a really big part of learning how I choreograph and how I see movement when I listen to the music and how I translate that into a dance. So it was really about how I personally dealt with things in this project. And I didn't use any of the other areas of interaction because they all dealt with things more universal and community, like how can I better the community, how can I save the environment, etc. And this project was more focused internally for me. One of the goals that I wanted to meet with this project, like the more specific goals, was to have my full left splits by the time we perform. And when we started the project, I was really far. I was about a foot or so off of the ground. It was really awful. And I'm proud to say that I have met that goal, and I have my left splits, and you'll see it when we perform the dance, and I'm so happy that I got my left splits. So, yay, goal completed. My specifications overall were to have a finished dance, to have all of the movements be original, so nothing that was taken from someone else, to communicate the message, which is love and acceptance, ready to perform by Super Saturday, which we are, huzzah. And then I also wanted to incorporate movements that weren't mastered yet, so over the process of this dance we could master the movements, so it was something that we could work on. And then 6, 7, and 8, my 8, or those 3 specifications were more technical. Like, my 6th specification is to have our tour turns, which are these. I'm sure you've seen all dancers do those at least once before. We have those at one point in the dance, and I wanted to make sure that those were clean and together, and that was one of them. 7 is my left splits, got that. And then 8, we have a lot of leaps in the dance, and I want the leaps to look very professional, in the sense that when we leap, we don't just kind of go, we just go leap, and they look very professional and huzzah. I just said huzzah a lot, but that's okay. For my sources, I used YouTube videos, material that I got from the dance teacher at at Smoky Hill, Miss Wood. I also used information that I got from the teacher up at CU Boulder. I cannot remember what her name is, and that's awful of me, but she's the dance teacher up at CU Boulder, and I went up there for CU Day of Dance, and she gave me a lot of things that I used. I also used a documentary called Pina, which was about a ballerina named Pina Bosch, and it basically showed me a lot of things that I didn't like, and the way that that helped me was because it gave me a sense of what I didn't want in this dance, and that, if that makes sense, it pushed me forward to what I did want. So by understanding what I didn't want, I got what I wanted. All of the sources that I used were really, really, really good, and they helped me a lot. I really wouldn't have been able to choreograph this dance if I didn't use all of my sources. So they were also, all of my sources were awesome. I do feel like I achieved all of my goals with this project because I met all of my specifications. I have a full choreographed dance. I'm very proud of myself and my partner Sydney for everything that we've done through the course of this project. It was so much fun, and I loved it. Essentially, from the start of the project, I learned something from the dance teacher at CU Boulder called a saute, which is that. It's a saute. And I really, really liked it, and I wanted to put it somewhere in the dance, but initially I couldn't figure out where it would make sense with the theme of the dance and the music. It just didn't make too much sense when I was starting out, and I really wanted to put it in. But in like the first week of the project, I narrowed the song down a little bit to where I could put a saute. So I listened to the music and I said, okay, I can put a saute here, I can put a saute here, and I worked it out from there. And I also wanted 3 chaîné turns, which are just regular turns like that. I wanted 3 chaîné turns into a saute, and there was not a place in the music where that worked. So what I had to do was I had to split up the chaîné turns and the saute and add a little something in between, and it would create something that did work with the music, which ended up being the opening little solo, which is this. There was a bit of a block the couple weeks into the project because I really couldn't think of what to choreograph. You could call it dancer's block. I just went into the dance gym and I was just like, okay. And nothing really happened. So essentially, what I had to do was start the music and put it on repeat, and then I would just start with a movement. The movement was this. I just did that over and over again with the music until something came naturally from that, and that was how, whenever I ran into a trouble spot in choreographing the dance, I got through that. I just moved and moved and moved until something happened from that. And then I just went with that, and I think it worked really well with the music and with the theme. A few weeks into the dance, I was a minute of the way in after I passed through that block section, and a minute was way farther than I ever wanted to be, like 3 weeks into the dance. So it was I felt like it was going very well and progressing very fast. And one of the things that was hard for both of us at the beginning was conveying emotion through the movements and conveying what we wanted to say. And Miss Wood told us that emotion in the dance comes from how you execute the choreography. Like, a sharp movement could mean something, or then a fluid movement could mean something, and it means 2 very different things. So we definitely had to go through the dance once it was finished and kind of decide what we wanted to say with each movement and decide whether it was sharp, fluid, harsh, rough, etc. And my biggest obstacle in this dance was the fact that my first partner, her name was Cassidy Ingram, she injured her foot about halfway through the process, and she had to exit the dance. So I called upon my beautiful, awesome friend Sydney to step in, and she did. And thank you so much for stepping in. It was very, very, very tough because it messed up the lifts that I had planned. It messed up the rehearsal schedule. It messed a lot of things up, but we definitely got through it. And then after that, really, the project started to move along smoothly. Like, we were choreographing, we were running it, we were cleaning it. It was going really well, and everything is fine. And everything was fine after I passed through that. So I'm extremely proud of the dance itself. It's really nice to have something that's my own, and to know that everything that's in this dance I came up with myself and I arranged myself. So I'm really proud of that. There are things that I put in the dance that I'd never heard of, like the tour turns. I had no idea what those were when I started this, but it's nice to expand and know more about dancing because I really want to be a dancer when I grow up. So this was pushing me towards my future and pushing me where I want to